Okay. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan is retiring in 2024. I'll just say that, like, what I said before whenever I saw this initially is, I think that Jim Ryan has been a good business person for their company, but I think Sony needs something more. I think they need something. I think they need somebody that is more towards the likeness of what Xbox has in Phil Spencer. To be completely honest with you, I've never been like a huge fan of Jim Ryan or anything, but I think that he's probably been a pretty solid person to have in that position for PlayStation. But I think the big difference is if you look at somebody like Phil Spencer, he comes off as a very, and I've talked about this a lot, but if you haven't heard me say it, he comes off as a very good business minded individual. But even more than that, I think he's a very appealing person for most of us gamers out there, as he's a gamer and we can relate to a person like that. So while he's smart, he's good with business, he understands this industry, he's a gamer. I think that you take somebody like Phil Spencer, and I'll give you an example. You know, last year around November, he was being interviewed, and they asked him a question. Not Jim Ryan, Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer was being interviewed, and they asked him a question last November. What's the most anticipated game for you right now? He literally said, God of War Ragnarok, which is a PlayStation proprietary first-party title. Which for me is something incredible to see out of the head of gaming from Xbox, to say that his most anticipated title to play at the time coming out was a PlayStation title. You know, I don't think you would have seen that from somebody out of PlayStation or somebody out of Nintendo. But I think what that does is it helps him relate more to a lot of us as gamers, as he's a real dude. He's just a real gamer. You know what I mean? Just because it's not a game coming out on his platform doesn't mean he's not psyched about it, you know? And I think that's one of those things that PlayStation has to look at to have as their next CEO in this position. Obviously, it needs to be somebody that's got a great business mind, but I think that they need to have somebody as an icon for their platform and potential consumers and potential, you know, people to buy into their platform to look at and look towards as a fellow gamer as well. I think it's a hugely critical thing, honestly. Jim Ryan was just this business dude to me, as opposed to what Phil Spencer is, you know, which is what I've been talking about. And wish Jim Ryan the best. I think he's probably done a great job for Sony and PlayStation, but I think they truly have to find somebody that is more appealing to their fan base, you know? You mean Hod? Hod Towered? Yeah, dude. Sony has announced that PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan is stepping down from his role and will retire in March of this coming year. Hiroki Totoki will become the chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment in October of 2023, then take over as the company's interim CEO on April 1st, when Ryan officially retires. After 30 years, I've made the decision to retire from SIE in March of 2024. I've relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company working with great people and incredible partners, Ryan said in a statement. Totoki added, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Jim Ryan for his outstanding achievements and contributions over his 30-year career at Sony, including the great success of launching the PlayStation 5. Ryan has been in the spotlight recently for his involvement in trying to prevent Microsoft from acquiring Activision Blizzard. In particular, He claimed that Call of Duty becoming a potential Microsoft exclusive would be detrimental to the gaming community, and the acquisition as a whole would be anti-competitive. When really, Sony, it just made Sony look anti-competitive by doing that. Ryan also oversaw the launch of the PS5 while Sony was enjoying its most dominant years in the video gaming industry with a massively successful PS4. Now, isn't the highest sold console of all time PS2? Isn't it? I'm pretty sure. He also reversed the decision to close down the PS3 and PS Vita digital storefronts after fan backlash and pushed Sony into a new initiative with more games as a service titles. Ryan oversaw many of Sony's most high-profile acquisitions, including Insomniac Games, Bungie, and House Marquee. Yeah, it's definitely the end of an era. You know what I mean? But I think I think they have a great opportunity here to put somebody in this role moving forward that gives off more of that Phil Spencer vibe. And I think that's what they need. We'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe Pinky's predicting they're gonna poach old Todd Howard from Bethesda out from underneath Microsoft. Yeah. We'll see, buddy. We'll see.